Goldstein. Floridians across the state woke up this morning to learn of a tropical system bearing down on our Gulf Coast. As of last night, Florida was not at any risk. All that changed suddenly this morning. Upon receiving information about this storm early this morning, I became immediately engaged with the Florida Division of Emergency Management and the National Hurricane Center. Now, with Tropical Storm Emily quickly moving across our state with heavy rain and flooding, it's important that everyone keeps their family safe by staying tuned to local weather alerts, your local news, and also, of course, to law enforcement. Earlier today, I declared a state of emergency in 31 counties to respond to Tropical Storm Emily. This state of emergency will give us the flexibility to work with local governments and ensure every community has what they need to prepare and respond to the storm. Today is a reminder that in Florida, severe weather can come at any time, especially during hurricane season. So it's very important that every family get prepared on the front end. Here's what we know right now. Tropical storm warnings remain in effect for Charlotte and Lee counties. A flood watch is in effect for Pinellas, Hillsborough, Manatee, Sarasota, Hardy, DeSoto, Highland, Charlotte, Lee, Collier, Glades, and Hendry counties. In addition to the urban flood threat, minor river flooding may also occur. A marginal risk for strong winds or a brief tornado exists for portions of central and south Florida. The storm is currently moving east across the state at about 10 miles per hour, with most of the rain on the east and the southeast side of this storm. It's not behind it. I have spoken with counties in the path of Tropical Storm Emily today, and at this time there are no unmet needs. I've reached out to a lot of individuals around the state, and there's no unmet needs. But our next call with the counties will be at 5:15. We had one this morning at 11:15. I've also talked to power companies around the state, including Florida Power and Light, TECO, and many municipal and co-op utilities, who are working aggressively to restore power to the areas affected. Right now, we have minimal power outages in Florida, but it's important to remember that every family needs their power back. As we've learned in our hurricanes and tropical storms, the most important thing is afterwards is get the power back on, so people can get back into their homes and also get back to work. Florida Power and Light is working aggressively to restore power to their impacted customers. Right now, we have about 18,000 homes and businesses are without power due to the impacts from Tropical Storm Emily. Utility providers are working nonstop to get people back online. I've reached out to them to just make sure if any needs they have, and to make sure they'll call us, and I'll do everything I can to reach out to others to make sure that we can help them. The Army Corps of Engineers has reported that Lake Okeechobee is currently a foot below normal. That means they are not expecting any discharges due to Tropical Storm Emily. The primary impact will be heavy rainfall for the next 24 hours. 2 to 6 inches have already fallen, and another 2 to 4 inches is expected today for west central and southwest Florida. Isolated areas could receive up to 6 to 8 inches. 1 to 3 inches of rain is forecast for east central and southeastern Florida. There are currently no evacuation orders in effect. However, the American Red Cross is on standby to conduct shelter operations in Pinellas and Indian River counties. The Skyway Bridge just recently reopened, which is good news for rush hour traffic. I know that many of you are at work right now, and I urge you to keep alert to local weather and road conditions. Look out for flooded roadways and do not drive into any standing water. One of the biggest things is don't drive into standing water. If there's any down power lines, don't get close to them. Call somebody. Remember, turn around, don't drown. I will remain in constant communication with our state and local emergency management officials, local elected officials, to ensure that all needs are met. We're doing everything possible